All right, let's talk some footy around the Bulldogs. Now, they were very good on the weekend, but unfortunately for them, Leo Thompson out for 10 weeks, calf tear. Now, I want to get your feedback on this because I actually spoke to, I was about to say the name, but actually I didn't. I spoke to an insider at the Bulldogs before the Indigenous game, or the All-Star game, sorry. I got that wrong. But, and they were a bit concerned about Leo playing in it.
Yeah.
Because he had carried a few nigglies and they were really pumped for Vegas. He was looking fit and ready to go, and he's such a huge and pivotal signing for them and possibly their success this year, right? And they were kind of a bit uneasy about him going to play in it, but understand that it is for his culture, his family, that it was very important to him. And then they picked him, and then he gets injured training, right? So it's a bit of a disaster, and I felt like their worst concern became a reality.
Yeah.
What have you heard?
Yeah,
much
I'd heard something similar, that he probably felt a twinge or and didn't think much of it, and then went to play in the All-Stars game, and then suffered this long-term injury. And 10 weeks, it's half the it's almost half the season now for their marquee signing. So yeah, there's no doubt there's a disappointment there for the Bulldogs, because he was the guy that was going to take him from top 4 into premiership credentials, right? Change that forward pack, give him a bit of spark, lay that foundation. So yeah, he's a huge out for him.
I actually think they should move that game, but that's for another day, to the back end of the year. I think Rudy brought up a good one, having the week off before the grand final like the Super Bowl do, and maybe even putting it in there. It worries me before the year. You know, you're underdone. These players are so important to their team in the season. So that's for another day. Matt Burton with his hamstring. Have we got any mail on that?
He'll play, I think.
He's fine?
He'll play.
Yeah, it wasn't as serious as...
No, but when I first saw him, like everyone else, when I first saw him limped off, I said, well, he's no chance of going to Vegas. Yeah. But he's got through some training this week, so they're supremely confident that he'll play.
I may as well stay on that. O'Sullivan did well when he went off.
They looked good, Braith.
And they look great. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of the Dogs. Excited for them this year. Of course, Leo Thompson doesn't hurt, but they've still got that I wouldn't call it a dilemma, but they're going to have the combination of Burton and Galvin. And
it's not a dilemma, but it's a microscope will still be on those two.
Yeah, it won't be a dilemma unless it turns into a dilemma.
Yeah.
If they come out of the gate strong, which, I kind of look at the Dogs and, Sean O'Sullivan's a good example. Less is more.
Yep.
A genuine 7 comes on and just gets them to the points on the field they need to be.
I agree.
Executes their kicking game the way that they needed to. They've got strike power, star power, kick out, Crichton, Sherry. They've got it all. You don't need to overdo it in the 6 and 7, especially the 7. I think even Sexton, they're leading the competition. I hate going back there, but Sullivan's not much different to Sexton, really. And he came in, and it's just an example for the Dogs is you have the team. Less is more. Just have a 7.
What do you do, Braith?
You go on Galvin Burton, and what you're hoping is, with one of the best coaches in the game, Cameron Serrato, he's worked with him the whole pre-season. They've got a great halves development system there, I know that, definitely. And they've worked with him to master the art of the 7. Still have the X-factor flair, take the line on as he does, but just the fundamentals of a 7, just tweak your game a little bit. Don't lose Lachlan Galvin and who you are and how you've got to where you are. But there's certain composure, control, game management that a half needs to have in NRL to be successful in the 7. And if they've worked on that hard enough, and Galvin has taken that on board, which I've heard that he has, and he's an exceptional talent, they'll be fine. And I think if I'm Galvin, I'm learning a lot from what Sean O'Sullivan did on the weekend.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'd be playing Matt Burton at centre. I'd be playing Sean O'Sullivan and Lockie Galvin in the halves.
You got some bombs at the moment. You got some bombs, eh?
Not really.
You really do want Buzz's spot, eh?
No, I'm making more sense. I don't know. But no,
Talk us through that.
Just exactly what you just said. The control, right, of Sean O'Sullivan, his ability to get him around the park. It free up Lockie Galvin's strength, which is his running game, and it also allows Matt Burton to remain a strike player on edge. Matt Burton's not a creative player, right? And as you said, they got creativity
Did he
on the
have
outside.
4 try assists last year, Matt Burton?
And that's off I know he's got the best long kicking game in the competition as well, but you'd think that would result in some
That's a crazy
points
stat,
too,
isn't it? Yeah.
right? So that's what I would.
But this is where I go back to the dilemma. You said there's not a dilemma. Well, it kind of is. I'm hoping it's not. Like I've spoken to all the Dogs, hierarchy and a few of the players, and I'm like pumped for them. I'm just hoping it's. And you know what? They got the Dragons first game, and if the Dragons turn up like they did last week, that could be the perfect start for
Who
the
are you
Dogs.
picking in the halves then, Braith?
I'm going with Galvin and Burton to start the year.
Yeah.
You just got to. They're quality players. I'm still unsure, and the jury's out, and the pressure's on. But I would go with them too.